I wanted to start earlier than this, but I couldn't decide if I should have the shoes on or off. So I decided to take off my shoes. It's gonna be much better. It feels like home this way. I have a tea here in front of me, London blend, whatever it is. It's a black tea, and I love it. Tastes like English breakfast, but a bit stronger taste. And this time I didn't put milk in it. And like last time, I left the TV on France 24. There are two channels for France 24. One is in French and the other one is in English. So this one is the English one. And right now they're talking about Macron. And before that, they were talking about Syria, the prison, how the people after Assad, they just flood to the prisons. They're looking for their family members. And it was, I don't know, it was absolutely terrible to watch. And why I'm talking about this, I know that these platforms, YouTube, TikTok, they don't really like political stuff, but because of today's topic, we need to talk about this. Because a few days ago, I graduated. I had my graduation ceremony. And actually, I thought that I'm going to receive my diploma like in the movies, like a huge paper, rolled up with the beautiful design and everything. But it was nothing like that. We were in the room. There was a 2-hour ceremony, 1 hour with all the speeches, which were very good. It was not boring even for a minute. It was amazing to listen because they were the professors, the people who are leading the university, and people who actually studied there and they made careers. So it was very interesting listen. That was the first 1 hour, and the second hour there was drink reception with food. I had sausage roll and proseccos and white wine. Yeah, it was great with friends and family. But today, in this live session, I want to talk about something else. My very first day back at school. And I was looking at my YouTube channels because I have more than one. And there was a live session just as this, just like how I'm talking to you right now. And the title was that it put on private. It's you cannot find it anymore. It's not public because I do this sometimes, because I don't want videos from 200 years ago to be out there. But it was very interesting to watch because I made it on the first day back at school, and the title was 13 years. After 13 years, back to education again. And this is very important, very important. And two things I want to talk about. First of all, why I think that this live is very important. And then how was my very first day back at school. First thing is I really like the trend. I watch lots of videos in this topic that saying TikTok is the new Hollywood. All these short videos, which is like a minute long or 2 minutes long, and that's it. You're just scrolling through it and doom scrolling and stuff. And basically, it puts you in a bubble. The things you're interested in, you will find those videos. But Hollywood is a little bit better. I remember when the people who work in Hollywood, they said that they have only like 2 hours to tell the story, and that's not enough. Imagine the people right now, who make their living on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, making these very short videos. They don't have 2 hours. They have 30 seconds to tell a story and attract the view numbers and the likes and all sort of things. They have much harder job than the people in Hollywood, I tell you that. But listen to this. I was watching a short video, which was very interesting, and I want to open today's live session with this one. So it was a guy who lamented that he is missing this feeling, this experience that he had no romantic relationship in high school. Wow, it's very important for today's live session. But let me tell you this, that we're not gonna talk about romantic relationships, not in high school, not at the university, not in, I don't know, in a care homes or something, but it's about the feeling, the experience, what is lost because he got older now. This is very important because the life now it's completely changing. People getting married later in life, in their 30s, in their 40s, or not at all. They have children, when they are 30, 40, or not at all. And everything is changing. And this guy was talking about in his video how is different to have a romantic relationship later in life, not in high school. And that is a very, very good topic. I want to talk about this. I have so much thoughts on this one because then after 13 years, I went back to study at the university. And the first time, sitting down, and it was mathematics for like 4 hours straight without break. I said, "Oh my God, that's not gonna be easy." But yeah, it was easy. But the first thing first, Hollywood is basically gone. Yeah, TikTok is the new Hollywood. There was a movie called My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and I think that is my favorite movie. And you know why? Because there, the whole movie, there was no blood, there was no violence, there was nothing like that. It was not a Steven Seagal movie. It was an independent movie, made on maybe $2 million or something like that. And it was about a lady who had a life which she found boring, but it was fun. It's without conflict. It was a very peaceful, carefree life, and decided to invest in her education and just to upgrade her life. And immediately, lots of conflicts came along. How the family handled it, how she handled it, how new people come to her life. And it was very, very interesting to see. I think that was the reason. Because of that movie, I decided to go back and study and do the university. Without that, I would have never done it, I'm telling you. And I'm very lucky that I watched that movie. I'm very lucky because if I don't watch Hollywood movies that are like 2 hours long, independent movies, that made of $2 million or something, just watching TikTok, I would never see these sort of things, about education, how it is to go back to education after 13 years of doing basically nothing, just going to work and coming back home and enjoying the life. Actually, when I went back to school, that was before the pandemic. So actually, in the next session, live session, I will talk about this, how it is to study at the university when it's lockdown and you cannot go in, you don't see your, I don't know, classmates, you don't see your professors, and you are sitting at home front of the laptop, and you need to learn hundreds and hundreds of pages and you need to watch online videos, and somehow you need to wrap your head around the topic. Yeah, I will tell you about this. But now, today, I'm gonna talk about the very first day going back, because I don't think it was it was stressful. It was what I felt, that my old life is gone. This is what I felt, and and it was very uncomfortable because I don't know. But I had a very safe life. 13 years. I had always job. I had always friends. Everything. And now I was the bubble they always talk about. I love that. And it's a completely new world and completely different stress. No free time anymore. Forget about sleeping. There was one girl who told us, it's like in the room we gathered. The lecture is maybe for like 160 people, and then after the lecture you go for a session which where you are in smaller groups, maybe 8 people, 10 people, something like that, and then you discuss what you heard on the lecture. So in this session, the very first session, it was very funny, because one of the girls said that, "Oh, my friends, they came over to spend time with me, a couple of hours," but I told them, no, I told them no. Come back after 5 years when the uni is over. And it was so funny. I felt exactly the same way that as now there's no time for anything. But let me tell you about this. The very first week, the very first day when we went back to school, how it felt. The very first thing was we were like 160 people in the room, and the professor came on the stage, and we were talking about things. There was a tube map from, I think, from the 50s, projected on the wall. And he said that the world is changing, everything is changing. But look at this map from the 50s, the London tube map. You see the main things, the main lines. And if you wanna go to the airport, you wanna go to different places, you can still go. Yeah, but it's an old map. So I'm going to teach you all the basics, and after that, you need to learn the rest on your own. And I kind of like that. It was very, very good beginning. And there was a question after, and we were like 160 people in the room. He asked us that who is a homeowner, who has a house, and only two people had their own house, which was like, oh my god, that was crazy. Only two people, and we're talking about not just people who are 18. There were people who were well into their 20s, well into their 30s, and they were not homeowners at all. And that was the time I realized that, okay, I want to be here. I'm very interested about this, learning mathematics, economics, and politics, and all this stuff. Yes, I'm very, very interested. And then something happened. There were pictures on the wall. There were faces, and I said, "Who is this guy? Who is this guy?" And no one knew the answer. Who's the boss of the Bank of England? No one knew it. And then the question is interest rates. What is the interest rates right now? And just for the sake of this live video, I actually looked it up, and I know I should know it by heart. I should know it, every single day. What is the Bank of England base rate? So I just looked it up for this session, today's session, which is 4.75%. Oh yes. So that was the question. There were so many questions, people going back to school, and what they showed us with this question, that we don't have the basic knowledge what we need. But let me tell you this. After that lecture, everyone was up to speed with what's going on in the world. Before that, I never in my life read newspapers, magazines. I didn't read anything at all except books, fantasy, science fiction, things like that. But then after that, everybody was, reading everything cover to cover. And in a few seconds, one lecture with the first week back to the university, it's already, they pulled us in, and we absolutely loved it. I don't know anyone who actually left the school. I think everyone finished it. They finished it in different times. For example, I left out 1 year as well. At some point, I decided that what if I study 1 year and then take a break for 1 year and then go back like this, 1 year on, 1 year off. And then I I thought that it's gonna be so good, a 1 year break, and I just gather all that energy I need later, I fill up the batteries. But the very first day, when I had nothing to do, I said, "Oh my God, this was a very, very bad idea." So I went back and I never took a break. I just wanted to finish it. It's not a good idea to take a break. It's obviously it's a marathon. When you do marathon, don't take a break. Just go with it. Just go with the flow, and make sure you finish it. Definitely. And yeah, there were topics. I remember there was, after a lecture, the first week, there was a session, only few people there, and we needed to choose what is the most important topic in this year right now. And obviously I just graduated last week, I had the graduation ceremony, so that was years and years ago when they asked us that what is the most important topic, and everybody, and we were in small teams, and everybody said that the main problem is equality. There is a big problem with that, and only my team said Brexit, because I studied in London in the UK, and everyone said no, equality. It's about the pay equality and the opportunities you got and all that, because it should be equal. So everyone, no matter where you are born, which race, which culture, you should have the opportunity to do what you want. Yeah, and I said Brexit. And at the time, at that time we didn't even know how difficult it's gonna be. And right now I'm talking to you. This is a live video. 2024 is December, almost Christmas, and yeah, we see that there is so much problem with that. And when I was thinking about what I'm gonna say about the first day back at school, first week back at school, and I remember this, that my team was the only one who chose Brexit as a main problem, and I'm so happy with it still after a few years after graduation, because yeah, that was very, very problematic back then. But yeah, so yesterday before, we were talking about going back to school when you're not 18 or 20 anymore, when you're older. And today, basically, we can call this the second part, going back, do it, do it, do it, do it, because everything is changing so fast. And because of the budget, the state budgets in every country, they changing the time of the retirement. And for example, for me it was very difficult. I was working before going back to school again, and because of the pandemic, because of the lockdowns, basically the job what I did before, it completely disappeared. So I needed to have a change of career. And obviously it's gonna be I'm gonna live through it again, because of when I age, when I'm gonna be 50, 60, 70. Obviously I need to change for another career again. And change is extremely difficult, let me tell you that. It's so difficult. And if you go back to education, then you kind of get used to this, how to change, because this is one of the most difficult thing in life, to change, to adapt all the time, to improve. And yeah, do it, do it, do it, do it. This video is all about education. Go and get education, and always do something to keep your mind fresh. And learn right now. You need to learn artificial intelligence, learn programming, all this stuff. There's internet right now. There's plenty of resources on the internet. Go and do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. That was for today, the live session. Okay, bye.